plunge. A couple more surges of Arctic air are headed our way into the upcoming weekend. That has us at a weather impact alert for late Saturday into Sunday, and some of us will see a few snowflakes tonight and later tomorrow.
Tonight, a politician accused of being a sex predator.
Our biggest concern is that there may be additional victims.
The mayor arrested, facing serious crimes authorities say span a decade. Bad behavior.
3 incidents in one night.
The complaints from neighbors of a behavioral health facility in the Metro East.
I don't want it out here, I'm sorry.
Tonight, we take their concerns to management.
I don't know what the concern is that these folks have.
We start 5 on your side at 10 with your weather impact forecast. Some flurries are flying outside as more Arctic air settles into the bi-state. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell is tracking a better chance of snow for tomorrow and a weather impact alert day for dangerous cold this weekend.
Yeah, that's going to be for later on Saturday into Sunday. The snowflakes, you don't need to worry about this tonight. I mean, we just looked out the window. We have a few over Forest Park here, but most of this is much lighter. I mean, it looks impressive, right? You're seeing all this dark blue. You're saying, man, it must be snowing pretty well. No, the air is incredibly dry, so most of this is just a few light flurries here and there, and that's about it. There's more of it up to the northeast. If there's even a dusting out of this, that's going to be a miracle because this air is very dry. We're also pretty close to freezing right now, so the roads aren't particularly cold, and those temperatures are going up overnight as we head towards daybreak. So at this point, everything should scoot out of here before daybreak. So overnight, a little light snow, maybe a dusting east and northeast. We get some afternoon, evening snow showers tomorrow. A spot dusting is possible. We say spot because it's going to be more showery in nature, but it's windy tomorrow afternoon, and then the cold air, the really cold air, comes rolling in here as we go into the weekend. As far as snowfall totals for tomorrow evening, you know, there's going to be some isolated amounts where there might be a half an inch. That's tomorrow evening, probably right around little after rush hour. We don't anticipate it being a big problem. We will see you and talk more about the cold air that is more of a widespread problem as we head through the weekend in a few minutes.
And remember, you can always get our weather impact forecast on your phone. Text the word weather to 314-425-5355.
Tonight, the mayor of Riverview is behind bars accused of disturbing crimes, including sodomy, harassment, and possession of child pornography. The St. Louis County Police Department has been investigating Michael Cornell Jr. for weeks.
5 on your side's Laura Barcheski reports from Clayton and is getting answers from detectives and prosecutors.
St. Louis County Police say Riverview Mayor Michael Cornell Jr. sexually assaulted or harassed at least 2 teenagers and 2 adults over the last 10 years.
It's possible that this is like a predatory type of behavior. And we're concerned that if he was, willing to do it to a minor, that there may be other minors that we're just not aware of.
Detectives say the investigation started in December after a victim came forward to another law enforcement agency that passed off the case to St. Louis County. Court documents say in 2016 and 2017, Cornell sexually assaulted a teenager repeatedly. At least one other victim was also assaulted at Cornell's home during that time. In 2024, documents say Cornell repeatedly harassed another victim in his car and in his office. And in December of last year, police say he sexually assaulted the 4th victim at his home. Police raided his home and office at City Hall and found child pornography on his phone.
To every victim, we recognize it is easy for us to say this, as we have not lived your experiences, we have not walked in your shoes. But we want you to know that there is no shame in the crimes that were perpetrated against you. The only person that should feel shame in this situation is Mr. Cornell.
It's unclear who will replace Cornell as City of Riverview's mayor. All requests for comment from city officials were not returned. Lieutenant Colonel Jerry Lohr says they believe he abused his power and authority to lure in his victims.
It ruins the trust that the public has placed in us. And situations like this, unfortunately, tear down that fabric of trust.
St. Louis County Police believe there could be more victims. If you are a victim or know someone who is, call detectives at 314-615-5400. Reporting in Clayton, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
Cornell is being held in the St. Louis County Jail on a $1 million cash-only bond. He's expected in court tomorrow for a hearing.
More disturbing allegations tonight, this time in Washington County, where a couple faces more than a dozen charges in a child abuse case. The mother and her boyfriend are accused of locking children in a chicken coop, beating them with rocks, shooting them with BB guns, forcing them to eat bugs, smoke meth, and fight each other at gunpoint. Investigators are not sure how long the alleged crimes went undetected.
Where they live is very rural. No neighbors close. Not that I'm aware of. We never got a call from any school saying the kids are saying this or that. And we never got a hotline call from DFS. We never got anything.
The couple is being held without bond. We're not naming the couple to protect the victims' identities. If you or someone you know is a victim of child abuse, we have a full list of resources under the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com.
Tonight, a sports betting scandal rocking collegiate basketball and the campus of St. Louis University.
A sprawling federal indictment accuses several players in a point-shaving scheme.
The Department of Justice and this FBI will not tolerate the exploitation of the American institutions for criminal profit. Nor will we allow victims of this crime, the fans who fill the arenas, the students and alumni who believe in fair competition, and the American public who expect integrity in the institutions they love, to be denied justice.
Sports Director Frank Cusimano is here to break down St. Louis U's involvement in the alleged gambling scheme. Frank?
On a day the Billikens should be preparing for the big Richmond game on Saturday, they instead have had to field questions about a former player, Brad Ezewiro, shaving points. Sources tell me a SLU coach had to give up his phone and answer questions today to the NCAA and the FBI. Sources close to the situation also tell me that another SLU player was involved in the shaving of points. The game happened on February 20th, 2024. The Billikens were considered a 5-point underdog for the first half. They lost the first half by 14 points. Duquesne first half bet on it. One of the fixers told the bettor. The fixers placed at least $242,000 in bets on Duquesne. Now I want you to look at this video. Number 3 is Ezewiro, and he throws a soft pass which is stolen, and he's not exactly running back hard to defend against the Duquesne player. The Billikens ended up losing the game 81-66, and Travis Ford said, quote, afterwards, horrific start to the game, end quote. Ezewiro has been indicted on charges of bribery in sporting contest and conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection with the scheme. He allegedly attempted to recruit other players to participate in the scheme. In all, 26 players are accused of attempting to fix games. I did speak directly with a Billiken player who played in that game, and he did not suspect anything, and he said, quote, we just weren't that good that year.
Well, St. Louis County leaders say flu cases are surging right now. They're reporting around 8,400 confirmed cases this flu season. There have been as many as 752 cases in a single week, 2 outbreaks at elementary schools, and 6 flu-related deaths. Health officials stress the vaccine is your best protection.
When fewer people are protected through vaccines, it's more likely we will see outbreaks of infectious diseases that could be preventable, such as measles.
The county is offering free flu shots at its 3 county health centers weekdays from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. We're breaking down everything you need to know about the new so-called super flu influenza variant on our streaming app. Watch on demand by scanning the QR code on your screen. Well, tonight, homeowners in one East St. Louis area have growing safety concerns about a crisis intervention center in their neighborhood.
They say men living at the facility near Lebanon Road and West Bowl are leaving the grounds, wandering around their neighborhood and causing problems. All new tonight, 5 on your side's Robert Townsend talks to them and the center's director.
Last October, Anita Hicks says her Ring doorbell camera caught this video of a stranger repeatedly knocking on her front door in East St. Louis.
It was at 3 o'clock in the morning. I answered the Ring doorbell, and he was doing some strange dancing kind of things, and I asked him what he wanted.
There was a brief exchange between the two.
I'm sorry, can I see? Okay.
She directed him to the Comprehensive Behavioral Health Center of St. Clair County. Hicks says a few days later she talked to a supervisor at the Crisis Intervention Agency about the unsettling visit.
They gave me the name of this young man, okay? They named this young man before I even showed them the video.
She says in the past 2 years, several of her neighbors have reported seeing male residents leave comprehensive behavioral health wander the neighborhood, bang on homeowners' doors, and more.
Pulling on car doors, taking a nap in, on people's lawn, peeping through their windows.
For 69 years, the Crisis Intervention Agency has provided a variety of services and treatment to thousands of people, including those who have mental health issues.
They're not looking out for them any more than they are us. Somebody is going to get hurt.
But the center's executive director says no one has contacted him and told him about the alleged problems. What's more, Joe Harper insists the people who stay here are not causing the problems. Currently, about a dozen men and women live at the agency's campus that's fueling neighbors' concerns.
There is nobody that I'm aware of that has been out of our facility at night. We would know that. We do have monitors on all the buildings. There are cameras.
Nonetheless, Hicks is now circulating a petition hoping to stop the agency from building new apartments this spring.
We're going to keep at it. Somebody is going to get hurt.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Neighbors plan to take their concerns to the next East St. Louis City Council meeting, which will be on February 5th.
Things are getting real with the Real ID. The fears of longer lines at the DMV ahead of a looming fine. Olympic heartache for a pair of figure skating champions crowned in St. Louis.
And so we've been through the ringer.
The red tape keeping them from going for gold in Milan Cortina.
That dry air is keeping the snowflakes fairly isolated for a good portion of the area tonight. Why there's another chance of low impact snow later Friday, and the latest on the bitter cold that follows into the weekend.
New protest tonight in Minneapolis, 24 hours after a federal agent shot a man who officials say assaulted an officer.
It's the second shooting in a week involving an immigration agent in the city. Sherelle Hubbard has the latest on the growing tensions in Minnesota.
Heated protests continue in frigid Minnesota as dozens wave signs outside the federal building in Minneapolis protesting ICE. The ACLU of Minnesota filed a class action lawsuit against the federal government claiming immigration agents violently arrested or detained U.S. citizens who were minding their own business.
In the complaint, we detail disturbing facts regarding the ongoing assault against the rights of people in Minnesota who federal agents perceive to be Somali or Latino.
This comes after another shooting during what Homeland Security officials say was a, quote, targeted traffic stop. A federal agent shot and injured a Venezuelan national after DHS officials say the man allegedly assaulted the agent. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says federal agents are acting according to the law and that people should be prepared to provide proof of citizenship.
We may be asking who they are and why they're there and having them validate their identity.
Like this Minneapolis woman who was asked to show her ID when she was stopped by federal agents earlier this week.
All right, can we see an ID, please?
I am U.S. citizen. I don't need to carry around an ID in my home.
Well,
this is my home.
Where were you born?
This is my home.
And in a Truth Social post, President Donald Trump threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act to deploy federal troops to the state.
The Insurrection Act is a tool at the president's disposal, and I think the president's Truth Social post spoke very loud and clear.
Sherelle Hubbard, 5 on your side.
A judge declined to issue a temporary restraining order after Minnesota and the Twin Cities sued federal officials, claiming the immigration enforcement operation involves warrantless arrests and excessive force.
If you don't have a real ID, a new deadline is looming. Starting February 1st, the TSA will start charging a $45 fine if you show up at the airport without one. If you have a valid U.S. passport, you can still travel without facing the added fee. Illinois Secretary of State Alexei Giannoulias says about half of Illinoisans still don't have a real ID. Verizon says it has fixed the widespread outage which knocked out service for millions of customers for several hours yesterday. Tonight, Mercedes McKay has details on a refund you may be eligible for.
Hey everyone, Mercedes McKay here. There were a lot of people that were impacted by that Verizon outage that happened on Wednesday. Well, we have good news for you. You have a chance to get some money back. The company is offering $20. They're apologizing for this inconvenience, and it's super easy to be able to get this money back. So basically, all you have to do is go onto your My Verizon app and then just claim that credit. For customers, Verizon says that this will cover multiple days of service. If you're a business owner, you'll be contacted directly, so make sure you go and claim that cash.
Well, they won the U.S. Figure Skating Championship here in St. Louis last weekend, but they won't be going for gold in Milan Cortina next month. Pair skaters Alyssa Efimova and Misha Mitrofanov are two-time reigning champions. However, the married couple is ineligible to compete for Team USA at the Winter Olympics because Efimova is not a U.S. citizen. She did receive her green card after moving here in 2023 and has endured a 3-year waiting period for citizenship despite help from U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren and other politicians. When announcing the Olympic team in St. Louis, U.S. figure skating CEO Matt Farrell said, quote, "There are sometimes rules, and this is not the fun part." Right now on our streaming app, we're highlighting key members of Team USA with our Ones to Watch special. You can watch for free by scanning the QR code on your screen. And tomorrow marks 3 weeks until the opening ceremony at the Winter Olympics. Our Corey Miller is headed to Milan Cortina to cover the games for us. You can catch all of the Olympic action beginning on February 6th, right here on 5 on Your Side.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell's here with the weather impact forecast, and it's going to be dangerously cold.
You know, as we get into
over the weekend,
Saturday afternoon, we have the gusty winds, plus temperatures will be dropping into the teens during the evening hours. That's a big deal. And so wind chills Saturday night into Sunday are around 0 for many of us, maybe a little below 0. This snow looks really impressive on the radar screen right now. You see all that darker blue? Yeah, that's indicative of some heavier snow bands traditionally. But what you don't see is the air underneath those clouds. And the clouds are still pretty high up, because the air underneath those clouds very dry. So most of those snowflakes that are indeed showing up on the radar screen right now really having a tough time reaching the ground. Certainly not anything that's going to cause a problem for us tonight. In fact, by tomorrow morning, we actually see temperatures go back above freezing. Right now we're around freezing and just cloudy skies early tomorrow. Now, there is another round of some snow shower action tomorrow afternoon. It's probably going to be right towards the middle to the end of the rush hour when it pushes in. It could cause an isolated little problem, slow down here or there. It's not widespread. It won't be a lot. 45 windy tomorrow. Then the temperatures start dropping. We're around 20 Saturday morning. They keep dropping to around 10 on Sunday morning. And that's when our wind chills are at their worst. And then Sunday afternoon, we're around 30. Monday, it's cold again. But again, our weather impact alert for that Arctic chill late Saturday into Sunday. It's those bitter wind chills early Sunday with the feels like temperature down around 0, give or take a little bit. Here's the next wave coming in from the north and west, pressing southeast. Here we go into tomorrow. A lot of clouds through the day, quite windy. Late in the day, here comes this little area and patches. Now, patches, showers of snow, maybe a little grapple mixed in there, and that'll slide through the area. Temperatures are still around above freezing. You know, shouldn't be a problem on the roads. Going to be 45 for the high tomorrow. The only thing we could see that would create a problem is if you get like a little bit of a downpour of snow, and that's going to be extremely isolated. Then the cold air and the winds really kick up tomorrow night, and by Saturday morning, there'll be some snow flurries. Temperatures keep dropping. Don't worry about the snowfall, though. It's less than a half an inch if you can get that, and it's not going to be widespread. What is widespread? The cold. And our wind chill temperatures, Sunday morning, forecast to be down into the single digits. So again, that's when we have our weather impact alert, because you will need the extra layers. If you're heading out Saturday night, you definitely want to make sure you're being protective of yourself, and lots of good layers on, gloves, hat, the whole spiel for your winter weather gear. The good news is Sunday afternoon, there's a decent amount of sunshine. The bad news is there's more cold air surging in from Monday into Tuesday morning. Then we push it out for a little bit.
Yeah, normal about this time of year?
Normal about this time of year is 40 degrees for the high. So
40 sounds pretty nice.
Yeah, it does.
It does. Scott, thanks. Frank is next with sports.
Mike, a fun sportscast coming up. David Freese is in town. We will hear from him. The Blues are losing another star player, and we are going to show you a shooting star in high school basketball.
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel is now available in Missouri.
If the present is not so great, let's embrace our glorious past. The 2019 Blues and 2011 Cardinals are probably tied for first for most of us. Tonight at the Downtown Missouri Athletic Club with Danny McLaughlin hosting, they brought back some of the stars in their speaker series. A big crowd of over 400 people in the ballroom on hand to see Jason Mott, Daniel Descalso, John Jay, Alan Craig, and David Freese. And they love telling stories about Tony La Russa.
We would have moments where I wouldn't be in the lineup. He'd give me a day, and I'd kind of force my way into his office, and he'd rip open his desk and throw the lineup cards at me, basically, and say, "You want to manage, and I'll go to your locker," type of stuff. No, I loved everything about him. His kind of no BS attitude.
When he comes in to post the lineup for Game 7 of the World Series, I had come off the bench with 2 hits the night before, so I tapped John Jay on the shoulder and go, "Watch this." This is back when they used to put the lineup card in the clubhouse. So I run over there and I run my finger down the lineup, like pretending to look for my name, knowing that I'm not going to be in there. And I yell at Tony as he's going out of the room, "Hey, I can't get in the lineup. I got 2 hits last night. What's going on, Skipper?" And he looks at me and like, "You're better come off the bench anyways," and then storm out of the room.
I'm not sure who wins the next championship in this town. The Cardinals don't seem to be close, but the Blues did show a pulse the other night against Carolina in their finest win of the season. Got to follow it up with another good one tomorrow night against the talented Tampa Bay Lightning. The Blues were back on the ice today at Centene, and the good news is Philip Broberg, who was in concussion protocol, is back skating and could play Friday. The bad news is Robert Thomas is on the injured reserve list, a lower body injury. He will be reevaluated in 2 weeks. And in terms of Tampa tomorrow, Coach?
We're more concerned right now about making sure that we show up and play with desire and passion every night. That's the goal in the next 10 games. We'll let the results fall where they do.
Let's head to the Mark Twain Fieldhouse. Bob Sundvold, Umsel's best coach of all time, facing the 12th ranked team of the country, Missouri S&T. Check out the gutsy freshman from Chicago, Miles Bolin. He wasn't denied. Vincent Davis is also from Chicago. He will get the acrobatic putback, but Missouri S&T came back and won it 84-81. So that school UMSL wants this young man that we're going to profile to come and play basketball. And after you see this video, they won't be the only school. There is really nothing Abraham and IU can't do to the rim. Or how about the mid-range game? Or maybe the three-pointer. That's why one game this season he scored how many points?
45.
The 6'1", 185-pound Maplewood Richmond Heights senior guard didn't roll out of bed with these mad skills. No, he rolls out of bed to develop these mad skills.
Wake up at 6, so I'll come in the gym here and get work with my coach. That's at usually 7 o'clock. So work out with him, and then it's just school. And then after that, it's practice. And then after practice, I'll maybe go home, stretch, do schoolwork, or if not, I'm going to another gym.
That's why IU is one of the leading scorers in town, averaging a robust 27 points per game.
Unstoppable right now. Right now, he can get anywhere he wants. He get to his scoring points, and he's shooting the ball well, and he's doing everything except because he works so hard.
But the interesting item is he's not a selfish gunner. He's averaging nearly 5 assists per game.
I love passing the ball. I have great teammates that can capitalize off my passes, so that's been great playing with these guys.
It's a unique name, IU, and he comes with a unique skill set too. And he's a terrific kid, great student. And the really amazing thing is that, like, if I was that good at shooting, I would never pass the ball. I watched him the other night. I thought he was going to shoot it every time. No, he's passing to the open.
Didn't you play at UMSL?
Yes, I did. He'll play much better.
Thanks, Frank. Right. Mr. Tkachuk goes to Washington. A big day for a St. Louis kid, plus his patriotic partnership with a hometown brew. St. Louis native and Florida Panther star Matthew Tkachuk was at the White House today.
President Trump invited the Chaminade grad and his teammates to celebrate their back-to-back Stanley Cup wins. They gave the president a golden hockey stick and a number 47 jersey.
So honored to be here, being an American. I know I said it last year, but I mean, nothing beats this. I'm so proud to be an American and so proud to be here with you and everybody else.
Matthew Tkachuk is taking that American pride to the Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina. He and his brother Brady will both make their Olympic debut with Team USA. The St. Louis brothers are teaming up with a hometown brew as the poster boys for Michelob Ultra That's the official beer sponsor of USA Hockey. Mick Ultra's Super Bowl ad will feature America's competitive spirit, so you can watch both the winter games and the big game, the Super Bowl, right here on 5 on Your Side.
All right, let's get a final check of our forecast.
The cold air is still coming in, but tonight it's the snow that's out there. It's not amounting to anything, and we're right around freezing. Don't worry, not a concern. Tomorrow we're up to 45. We'll have gusty winds, mostly quiet during the day, but in the afternoon, evening hours, we'll start to see some snow showers coming in. There may be a couple of bursts where it's a little heavier and the roads get a little damp, but still can't see it being a big problem. What is a big problem, at least to some degree, the cold. It is going to be cold all weekend long. That weather impact alert for Saturday evening, Saturday night, Sunday morning. That's when we expect the wind chills to be the coldest.
There you have it, 5 on Your Side at 10. A reminder, we're always streaming on your phone and smart TV.
Have a great tomorrow.